Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the South Atlantic Media Services Local TV News. Making the headlines this week. Team St Helena go off to the NatWest Island Games. Andy Liddell comes here to secure the wreck of the Darkdale. Printex's new building in Halftree Hollow opens up for business. And in sports, we bring you the highlights of this weekend's football and golf. We also have a special feature for you from Prince Andrew's School. Team St Helena has touched down in Jersey ahead of the 2015 NatWest Small Island Games. There were emotional scenes at the seafront last week as competitors and managers said their goodbyes before boarding the RMS St Helena. The team has a chef, managers, shooters, a golfer, a runner, a long jumper and a swimmer. They will be joined by gold medalist shooter Simon Henry and golfers Patrick Sim and Malcolm Williams.
What's going through my head is that we're going to have a fantastic time. We're looking forward to our destination in Jersey and performing. And I think the team is going to do well. I believe in them, they believe in me, and we believe in our sport. In the opening ceremony, all islands or countries always supply a bottle of water, and they put it in this big fountain. And it's quite an amazing fountain. And it'll be an honor to take our water, and I'm pretty sure that someone is going to be grabbing onto this bottle. I'd just like to say I'd like to thank Narcissus for all the hard work that they've done to get us to the games, all the people who sponsor us, and all the support from the general public. It's been really, really excellent. Thank you to everybody.
I'm looking forward to quite a lot. I've been preparing a long time for this, especially because I have more of a chance at actually being recognised on the table. I've been training really hard, so I hope I come somewhere. Just a chance to compete again, to see if I have it in me again, and just to show the world that I'm trying my best to get whatever I can.
The team got an early scare when shooter Chelsea Benjamin picked up a slight injury when arriving at Ascension, but she will hopefully make a full recovery before the competition starts. NASA's chair, Nick Stevens, said he was proud to send a large team and praise supporters for helping to raise funds. He says the island's chance of picking up medals is fairly good. And from everyone here at SAMS, we wish them the best of luck. Work is about to start on a large operation to remove fuel from the RFA Darkdale. The ship, which lies in James's Bay, was sunk by a German U-boat in 1941. Now a team of 88 people, including bomb disposal experts, are being paid by the British Ministry of Defence to remove oil from the wreckage in a project expected to cost an impressive £7 million. 3 vessels will be arriving in James's Bay over the next few weeks. The Pacific Dolphin, a ship which is in fact larger than the RMS, will be the main vessel. It will be joined by a counter-pollution ship and a tanker which will take the extracted oil to South Africa. It was in October 1941 that the RFA Darkdale was torpedoed by a German submarine. 41 of the ship's 49 crew died in the explosions. The Darkdale was sunk with over 4,000 tons of different fuels on board. These have been slowly leaking to the marine environment. Project manager Andy Liddell joined SAMS Radio 1 earlier this week.
Once the vessel's free from oil, essentially the risks have gone. That when we leave here, there's some ammunition that's lying on the wreck. We're going to remove that and take that into deep water. So that gets rid of that risk. And then we'll take the oil out and we'll be leaving some hardware on the wreck, the valves that actually go into the tanks that we take the oil off from. They'll be staying on the wreck. But once that's all done, the risk of any major oil spill is finished. So from our point of view in terms of wreck management, our job is effectively done.
Okay.
There's nothing else for us to do here, that there's no further work for us. Ministry of Defence still remains the owner of the wreck, so we still have some responsibility towards it, but in reality there's not much more that we need to do. That the wreck will just be left there and she'll be then open as she is, or has been up to sort of current day for the recreational dive community, and that they're welcome to dive her.
Okay.
It's split into a few different bits. The first job we've got to do, and by far the trickiest part, is to put these valves onto the hull and drill into the hole so we can actually get the oil out. That really depends on what we find. It's very hard to put a figure on that. It would be nice to do it in about a week, but it depends on what we come up against. We are fully expecting that we will have some issues and difficulties to overcome. That's just part of the nature of the job, particularly when we don't have the detailed technical drawings that we might like. After that, we then have to do the pumping of the oil, and that will go into a tanker, and we're expecting that to start around about middle of July. That's when the tanker's due into the bay.
Okay.
That won't take that long, so all in all, by the time that we've done all of those different phases of work, we're expecting to be leaving the island around about early August. That's ours.
Mr. Liddell went on to say that a porthole from the Darkdale had been taken and put up for auction in the UK. However, someone had recognised the porthole and it was reported to the police. It was confiscated and the team have now brought it back to St Helena. From one ship to another now. I don't know if you remember last week we brought you a report on the Albatross, the French Navy vessel which visited the island. Well, only days after it left the island, the ship was struck by tragedy when a sailor was washed overboard. An aeroplane was called to the scene to find 39-year-old Stéphane Léger. However, it seems it was too late. The search was called off on Sunday. The thoughts of everyone here at SAMS go out to the friends and family of Mr. Léger. Moving on to happier news now. A decade since it first started and 5 years since its current owners took over, Printec, the island's major printers, have moved into a new building in Halftree Hollow. It has taken 3.5 years from the planning stage to the actual move, and although the new building is about the same size as their old one, the open plan factory and office space are much better for Printec. Speaking to SAMS, the company's CEO Clint Beard told us that the new premises were much better suited for printing. Their old building in Scott's Mill had been very damp. When SAMS visited the site on Tuesday, most of the move had been completed, with only some smaller details left to iron out. It seems like the move worked well though, because the team were able to print hundreds of copies of the island's newspapers only days after bringing equipment to Halftree Hollow. The new building is an investment which will allow the company to come out of the damp conditions and let them buy machinery which could not cope with the conditions in Scott's Mill. Mr. Beard told us that the new premises are 110 times better than those at Scott's Mill. Here now is Damien Obey with the sports.
Raiders and Axis clashed in the first football fixture at Francis Plain on Saturday. Raiders keeper Rick Thomas continued his vein of good form, pulling off a few vital saves to keep his team in the match during the early exchanges. Axis forward Scott Henry had a goal disallowed for offside before he eventually opened the scoring, ghosting into the box from the right wing and sliding home at the near post. Travoy Stevens natted home Axis second. Raiders Mashara Yan converted a penalty, and Marvin Benjamin natted Raiders second. In doing so, Raiders picked up their first point of the season as the sides finished in a 2-2 draw. Axis had a golden opportunity to take the win with a penalty kick in the final seconds of the match, but Travoy Stevens could not keep his cool, and his shot from the spot went up and over the crossbar as the final whistle blew. Unlucky Travoy. In the second match on Saturday, Fugees were on target to pull off the first upset of the season against Wirebirds. Fugees opened up a 2-goal lead just 10 minutes into the match, with goals from Anton Henry and Liam Yan. Both goals were from corner kicks. However, Wirebirds settled into the game and began to work their way back into the match. Midfield trio Martin Joshua, Joseph Ace Hangwani, and Tapalo Po began to dominate proceedings, and Wirebirds led by a goal when the half-time whistle blew, with a goal from Ace and a brace from Kanyali. Birds went on to score 2 second-half goals, with Tapalo and young Corey Scipio adding the 4th and 5th goals. Final score, Wirebirds 5, Fugees 2. On Sunday, Chop Shop Boys went up against Crystal Rangers at 11:45. Despite Rangers form player Bank scoring the first goal, Chop Shop Boys recovered to finish the match 6-1. Goal scorers for Chop Shop Boys were Kevin Hudson with a brace, and Michael Bedwell, Julian Henry, Clayton Yan, and Philip Isaac adding a goal each. The victory sees Chop Shop Boys move up to 4th place on the league table. In Sunday's second match, Rovers proved why they are the top of the league table, following a more than convincing 5-1 victory over the Bellboys. Rovers dominated from the get-go, with the likes of Russ O'Dean, Rico Benjamin and Ronan Legg wreaking havoc amongst the Bellboys' defence. A number of early chances were squandered by Rovers before Russ O'Dean fired home for their first. Bellboys clung on and finished the half having conceded just the single goal. However, when play resumed, Rovers were rampant, netting a further 4 times. Russ O'Dean and Rico Benjamin finished with braces, with Ronan Legg adding their 5th. Tyler Brady notched up a consolation goal for Bellboys. The weekend's matches ended with Hearts versus Wolves. Despite the scoreline looking very close at half-time, with first half goals from Jason George and Wolves' Jacob Duncan, last year's league runners-up Hearts proved their goal-scoring prowess in the second half. Jason George finished the match with 4 goals, and Chris Owen bagged a hat-trick. Ryan George, Mikey Williams, and Rico Williams added the final goals as the match finished 10-1 in favour of Hearts. The Longwood Golf Club's Open Championship consisted of 4 rounds of golf spread over 3 weekends. Stuart Moores was C-Flight champion and his runner-up was Johan Thuran. B-Flight champion was Peter Williams and his runner-up was Donald Bowers. A-Flight winner was Gavin Crowe with Dax Richards the runner-up. In the ladies' competition, Sanya Niemann clung on to her lead and was the eventual winner by some 20 shots. Helena Stevens, despite fighting injury, finished runner-up. Longwood Golf Club's Open champion for the 9th consecutive time shot a 2-over par 70 in his final round to pip Larry Thomas to the title. Larry had carried a 1-shot lead into the final 9 holes after spectacularly eagling the par 5 8th, creating a 2-shot swing, with the champion only managing a par. However, errors on the par 3 11th, with Larry's tee shot sailing out of bounds and a double bogey on the 12th, saw his challenge fade and him finish 2 shots behind the champion on a 4-over par 72.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the 9th time, the winner of the St Helena Golf Club Open 2015, 9 times, the young man called Scott Crowe.
So Scott, you've won the Open Championship for the 9th time. How does that feel?
No, it feels good. Well, it feels like I win it for the first time this year. It was hard this year. Larry did really well. I really did thought that he was going to win me at one spell, but I pulled through in the end, so it was good.
Thank you, Damien. With the academic year coming to an end at Prince Andrew School, the students of Key Stage 3 have been having fun with movie making as part of their IT classes at Prince Andrew School. One of the projects really stood out as something different.
With our Year 9s, we decided to give them a fun activity for the end of their Key Stage 3 course. We decided to do some video editing. We've got some new iPads, 10 new iPads on Island, and they've got all sorts of facilities. You can do all sorts of things. We can download any app we want. So we actually downloaded an app called iMovie from the Apple Store, and it's brilliant. It lets you do video editing. It gives you templates. It shows you how to do it. We actually had a look onto YouTube, and we found a couple of videos that have already been done about St Helena, promotional videos for St Helena, and we thought that the kids could actually go out and do some filming around St Helena and make their own promotional videos. They're fantastic, yeah. They really took on board what we told them about making their little clips short and snappy, and not making them too long and boring, and editing them together and putting them into short little clips. We tried to make the music go with the clips as well, so that scenes would change as the music changes. Well, we did say to make it a nice promotional video. So of the 10 videos, 9 of them are quite lovely promotional videos, and 3 of the girls actually, they decided to create more of a creative approach, and it's more of a horror theme to their to their movie?
Everybody was doing this landscape and they were all having the same shots, and we decided we didn't want to be like everybody else. We wanted to do something different, something that stands out.
Yeah.
So why did you go for the horror route? That's fantastic.
Well, we thought that's a nice thing to improvise on, to do fake screaming, and it's just a fun way of doing it.
Now, another thing is you've made it like instead of like a promotional video, you've decided to go down a horror, so you've even made it into a trailer.
Yes.
So was that a difficult thing to do?
Well, actually,
It was okay because the iPads had most of the software on it, so it was very easy to make, and it was also very fun to go around the island doing stuff. It was
taking shots everywhere.
yeah.
So the iPads, you said it was very easy to use. Would you like to get into video editing when you leave school or anything like that?
It would be fun to do like directing or something.
Yeah,
I think so.
something down that line would be very interesting.
Okay, so I think if it's all right with you, ladies, we're going to have a look at your video right now.
Yeah, sure. I'm Annika,
I'm Tasman.
and this is our video we made for our Key Stage 3 video editing.
The Ghostly Island.
Scary. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for that to come out into cinemas. Well, that brings us to the end of this week's edition of the South Atlantic Media Services Local TV News. I hope you'll join us next time when we'll be talking to more newsmakers from across the island. Until then, I'm August Graham. Thank you all for watching, and good night.